Like a little bit puffed out after that. Quite frankly, give it up for Lucky Lucky. And thank you for my impromptu dance class. I thought I may as well practice what I preach, celebrate culture through movement. Every move counts. I can tell you it does. I just did it. I feel better. I feel energized. I feel slightly out of breath, but it's good to move. And it's good to be in this room with you all this morning. So welcome, officially welcome. And can I say, if anyone, any speaker is lucky enough to come up on stage, you can follow my lead. You can shimmy up on stage. That'll make it much more interesting for us all. My name is Janice Peterson. I'm from SBS World News, and I've been doing this for about 10 years now. So, well, over 10 years, isn't it, Jess? So I think I'm coming up for long service leave. I don't know how that works, but it's my great pleasure and privilege to be back. I'm so very blessed to have been invited back to host today, your Master of Ceremonies for this Multicultural Health Week 2023. We love it. Every year it's a very special event. And I'm so pleased to see that we have another packed room full of people eager to hear what the message and the theme is for this year. But of course, it's so important to celebrate, to recognise the work that everyone in this sector has been doing. And it's been another big year, another huge year. And I'm so pleased that you're all here to recognise this event, to highlight the work that's undertaken to promote the health and wellbeing of multicultural communities in our great state of New South Wales. I want to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today, and I pay my respects to elders past and present, and to any First Nations people here today. I also extend my respects to all of the multicultural communities that are here today. Thank you, everyone. And a big hello to our friends joining us on Zoom, anyone joining us virtually, welcome, welcome. So lovely to have you join us through Zoom and the Multicultural Health Communication Service, MHCS, Facebook page live stream. So great to have you all joining us today. As I said, humbled to be back. Thank you to the team for inviting me back. We had a little pep talk just a few minutes before we started, and it was so lovely to hear from Jess, from Lisa, just rallying the troops, again, reminding them of why we do this every year. It's to reach out to some of the most vulnerable people in our communities, people who are sometimes forgotten, particularly when it comes to the things that they deserve to know, and that's their health and well-being and ways to keep healthy. I know that, and I don't want to get too far into it, but so many of our sectors, aren't they? They're affected by this encroachment of AI and technology, and, you know, we're losing the human touch and human connection. And I was saying to the team this morning that that's why this event, and that's why the work that a lot of you do matters. You can't just type this into Chat GPT. You can try, but you need to have that human connection, and that's what a lot of you dedicate your professional lives to. I am not the most important person in the room. I'm very well aware of that. So I thank you all for the important work that you do, because it literally changes lives, it saves lives, it matters. So thank you for the care and dedication that you have. I'm sincerely very thankful. So thank you. And can I also add a huge thank you to the team at the Multicultural Health Communication Service. They do this year in, year out. It's a very special event. It doesn't happen by accident. It takes a lot of hard work. So they're my unsung heroes today. So I'm going to give another clap to the team. Thank you. Now, let me get on to the theme today. It is Multicultural Health Week, of course. Celebrate culture through movement. Every move counts, and that promotes the benefits of physical activity and cultural connection for better health and well-being. So in keeping with that tradition, I've been told to encourage you in just a second here at beautiful, the crucible of democracy, if you like, New South Wales Parliament House. We're going to, whether you're online or in the room, in a few moments, we're going to turn to the person to our right. We're going to give them a big heartfelt hello in whatever language you choose. You might have to interpret afterwards, but tell the person next to you what your favourite activity is and why you're here today, what you'd like to get out of today, and why. So I'm going to start and say, one of my favourite activities is, from being a mum, is to teach my daughters things. And I've found that incredibly rewarding. And one of the best things I've ever taught them is foot massage. As I said, it's incredibly rewarding. You've got to make this work for yourself. All right? But more seriously, when you get to older age, and particularly like me, I'm getting used to getting older, I sort of felt like, okay, what can I do for me again? And so I thought about what I used to be good at. I was quite good at athletics. So I competed as a kid up until high school, year 12, in sort of sprints and high jump. And so I'd encourage my girls, come on, you've got to get into athletics. I was good at athletics, I'm sure you're going to be just like your mum, and they were like, we don't want to do athletics, mum, right? We want to do netball and soccer and all these other things. So I was, just dying inside. I had missed going to the athletics track, and I thought, all right, how about I practice what I preach? How about I get into athletics again? So I took myself to Homebush on Saturday mornings. I got the high jump mats, happening, got my run up sorted out. And it was something I did for me. I found it very, very enjoyable. It was challenging. And then I thought, okay, I'm not going to commit to a club but I will compete. So I signed up for New South Wales Masters Association. I took myself to the state championships, which was such a feat. I'm going on and on too much now. However, I did train a little bit for 2 or 3 sessions. I felt great. And I won. I ended up winning. So there you go. My message to you is get back out there, start moving your body. I got a gold medal out of, following my dreams just on a whim. So you're currently looking at the New South Wales Masters 40-something age group winner. So that's my little sharing my story. It's over to you now. You got 2 minutes. Okay. A nice little chance to catch up. Well done, everyone. I'm so glad that you're so enthusiastic about sharing your experiences. Thank you so much. And there will be, of course, plenty of opportunity to have a chat and a catch up after the event. But yeah, I hope you've gotten to know the person next to you just a little bit better. And look, I used it as a platform to boast about my achievements. It wasn't necessarily the flavour of the occasion, but anyway, I hope you had a good chance to chat about how you like to move, get engaged, move your body and be active. A really lovely, genuinely gorgeous way to start Multicultural Health Week 2023 and to highlight the importance of the theme this year. So thanks again. We have a really exciting lineup as always, but particularly this year we've got expert speakers during the course of the morning. The Honourable Minister for Health, Ryan Park, is here to launch the week. But before we get into it, just a little bit of housekeeping. A reminder to put your phones on silent. That doesn't mean that we don't want you to use your phones. In fact, I'd love to encourage you to use your phone, snap away as many photos as you like. But if you do, can you please promise me that you will share those photos on your social media channels? We'd love you to share your comments, your posts on the New South Wales Multicultural Health Communication Service, or MHCS social pages. That's on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. There's something apparently called X these days. Figure it out for yourselves if you want to, as well as WeChat. And if you do generously share your content today, these are the hashtags. Hashtag Multicultural Health Week. Hashtag Physical Activity. Hashtag Celebrate Culture Through Movement. And hashtag Every Move Counts. So I believe, yes, there they are. So that's pretty easy to see. Feel free to take a little photo of that, because that way we can share, we can engage with each other and stay connected. We do have an official photographer here. Thank you so much for your generosity today, capturing the moment, capturing the event. Now, some people are a bit camera shy. If you don't want your photo to be taken, if you don't want to be in a video or a photo, not a problem. Please let the team members from MHCS I always get it confused. Anyway, find a team member, let them know, or make sure that that doesn't go out. Otherwise, you might like to move to the back of the room where you might feel a bit more comfortable. The toilets are located just outside the doors here in case of an emergency. As always, form a line, move towards the exits. But importantly, now I'm about to move on with the show. So I'd like to call to the stage Auntie Joan Bell from the Metropolitan Aboriginal Land Council for the official welcome to country. Thank you so much, Auntie Joan.
Thank you. I thought of shimmying up the stairs, but not today. Isn't that great? And isn't she beautiful? She's so pretty. Yes. I'm here. I was invited here to do a welcome, and I'd love to welcome you all. And I'd like to say that I sit on the board of the Metropolitan Local Aboriginal Land Council, and that Metro LALC is the body for the protection and preservation of all Aboriginal culture and heritage within its boundaries. And that includes Sydney CBD and surrounding local 24 government areas from Canterbury Bankstown to Cessnock. And we are proud to acknowledge all respective traditional owners and custodians for this place, now called Sydney. I can't get over her. She's so pretty. Yes. I have a couple of girls that are pretty like that. And I'd just like to let you know that as an elder, I support the people in government embracing the Uluru Statement from the Heart. My vote is yes. Thank you. A little bit about me. My name is Joan Bell. My family and friends know me simply as Auntie Ding. When you're one of 15 kids and you live in a little humpy that your dad built in the scrub, we lived in the scrub, and you got a last name like Bell, it's inevitable. You're going to end up with a nickname. Everybody had nicknames. I ended up with Ding. I didn't like it at first, but I love it now because everybody knows me and calls me Auntie Ding. And I'm so proud of that fact. I am a proud Wiradjuri Gadigal woman. My mum was a very proud Wiradjuri lady. My dad, the staunchest, the very staunchest of Gadigal warriors. I'm a mother of 10, a grandmother, a great-grandmother, and a great-great-grandmother of 81 grandchildren. So, thank you. So now you know why I couldn't shimmy up the steps. However, I was born really in a little central west New South Wales Wiradjuri town called Peak Hill. And like I said, we lived in the scrub in Peak Hill. We were what was known back then as the low life. Okay, so we got over that. And We used to go walkabout. And when you go walkabout with mobs, you learn a lot. We learned what our oldies did. That's what we called our ancestors. We never said ancestors. We always said, oh, the oldies did this and the oldies did that. They were the old people, and we respected the old people very much. They used to make a fire, an enormous fire in the biggest fire bucket that you'd ever seen, and sit all us kids around the fire and tell us stories of what they did and where they did it and who did what and who died for what. And if we didn't listen, you'd end up with lobes like mine. They'd yank on them. So I learned to listen. And once I started listening, I really got engrossed in my culture and my family and my mobs. My Gadigal ancestor was a local custodian who was taken to Parramatta's Natives Institute, and in 1845 was taken by Reverend John Cartwright to Pajong, Gundungurra country near Gunny, New South Wales, to work. We honour our Gadigal Eora elders and leaders, including Barangaroo, Pemaway, and many others who fought the first boat people who landed in Sydney Cove in 1770 and 1778. My respects to Gadigal elders, past and present. We honour our matriarchs and patriarchs. Because of them, we can. My respects to all elders and leaders from other First Nations here today. We listen to the old people. Like I said, we don't talk about ancestors. We talk about the old people, the oldies. And they come back, their spirit comes back and shows us the right path. They protect us, they help us, and they take care of us. And if we don't listen, we don't sleep so good at night because they invade our dreams and they walk all over us. They make us listen. This is why they died. This is why they helped to do this and helped to do that. And it all comes before you in a dream. So we listen. I sleep very good at night because I listen to the spirits of my oldies. This welcome to country is made in the spirit of peace and harmony with all peoples of modern Sydney. Our aim as local custodians is to establish an atmosphere of mutual respect through the acknowledgement of our ancestors and the recognition of our right to declare our special place in the pre- and post-history of the Sydney region. Respect is taking responsibility for the past, the present, and the future. Evidence of our occupation, ownership, and nationhood can be seen everywhere throughout our country. Our signature is in the land, not just in our DNA. And respect is in the fire that warms the camp and the possum skin cloak that shelters all. Respect is in the rivers, the sea, and the breeze quietly moving through country. The law of this land says that you must respect and honour all the peoples and all parts of the country. With this welcome, we ask that you all will respect the law of the country. Give honour, be respectful, be polite, be gentle and patient with all. Respect is everything living and growing. I am so big on respect because if you have respect, then you have love. And when you've got love and respect, there's not much else that you need because you have it all there. And that's it. But my kids and my 81 grannies say, but Nan, you do need money. Money. Money is the root of all evil. You know, I say to them, well, get a job and I'll introduce you to the bank. Please look after the land, sea and rivers. Then the land, sea and rivers will look after you. In conclusion, I say to you, welcome from the heart. This is my welcome to you from the land of my Gadigal people, from my land. Welcome to my Gadigal land. Thank you very much.
Big thank you once again to Auntie Joan Bell. Auntie Ding, as she told us, she's so affectionately known as, so I hope you don't mind us now referring to you as Auntie Ding, but can I say, fitting really to have such a message of such clarity, for that message to be ding, sounding loud and clear for all of us, and hopefully will be ringing in our ears for not just today, but for many, many, many days to come. It was very heartfelt, very moving, and we really appreciate your time, Auntie Ding, for coming here, because I know you were on the reserves bench. You were asked at the last minute to come. So once again, thank you so much. Thank you. And I know you're a busy woman. We know that for sure. So please feel free to attend to the many things that I'm sure you've got packed in your day. Thanks so much. Thank you. She's so sweet. She calls everyone baby. It's so probably because she's surrounded by so many, but so beautiful. It's now my great pleasure to introduce Toby Wilson, Chief Executive of the South Eastern Sydney Local Health District. Please join me in welcoming Toby to the stage. He'll share with us the importance of addressing barriers to participation in physical activity for people from culturally and linguistically diverse backgrounds. Thanks, Toby.
Thanks, Janice. And yeah, no long service leave because we couldn't have Multicultural Health Week without you emceeing every year. So thank you so much for emceeing again today. Can I also thank Auntie Ding, as I think everyone would refer to her, for her acknowledgement to country, and take the opportunity to pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, as well as elders of and community leaders from our multicultural communities, many of which are joining us in the room today. It's always a pleasure to be at this event. It's one of the privileges you get to be in being the Chief Executive of South Eastern Sydney, is that every year I get to come to this event as we host this service. And so it's great to be here. It's great to have so many of you joining us. I'd particularly like to acknowledge special guests, the Honourable Ryan Park, the New South Wales Minister for Health, Ms Susan Pearce, the Secretary for New South Wales Health, Professor Tracy O'Brien, the Chief Executive of the Cancer Institute of New South Wales, and Ms Lisa Woodland, the Director of Health Equity Promotion and Prevention Service at South Eastern Sydney, and the New South Wales Multicultural Health Communications Services. It's been since 2009 that the New South Wales Multicultural Health Communication Service has been coordinating Multicultural Health Week with support from funding from New South Wales Ministry of Health. And as I said, South East Sydney is really proud to host this service. It's an incredibly important service that does outstanding work for multicultural communities and has been doing so for almost 30 years now. Every year we have this annual event, which is a really important time for us to acknowledge some of the challenges and raise awareness around those health factors that impact on culturally and linguistically diverse communities, and the ways, more importantly, that we can help to address those barriers. It's really exciting to have this theme this year. For those that know me, you'll know that I am a washed up physiotherapist. So I'm very excited about the fact that we're talking about every move counts. And Janice, you brought back some scars there about my physio training, because everybody I went through physio was a state champion of something, and I was just a wannabe. But it's great that we're talking about movement, because movement is so important. So, as we said, this week's theme is celebrate culture through movement. Every move counts. We know from the New South Wales Population Health Survey data that there are pockets of migrants and refugees from some countries where there are higher rates of physical inactivity in comparison with the general population. And we know there are many barriers that can get in the way for multicultural communities to engage with physical activity. These can include things like language and lack of well-translated information, competing culturally and religious expectations, competing family and home responsibilities, and a lack of transport or knowledge of how to get around. These are barriers that don't necessarily affect our general community, or at least don't affect our general community to the same extent as they affect our culturally and linguistically diverse communities. We also know that at times sport and physical activity can be seen as a lower priority when your challenges are around trying to improve your life opportunities. We know that for some people from culturally and linguistically diverse communities, the safe environment that needs to be wrapped around these opportunities does not exist, and that can be a barrier for people to engage. And we know that it's really important for people to be able to see what is normal. And so things like the Women's World Cup that recently occurred is a great example of where culturally and linguistically diverse communities could see and normalize that behavior of engaging in organized sport. And I know that was a really successful event, and many people engaged with that. So the New South Wales Multicultural Health Communication Service this year has worked closely with the Ministry of Health's Centre for Population Health, which is charged with providing guidance of the benefits of physical activity for good health and mental well-being. We're also really proud that the team's been able to team up with the Cancer Institute of New South Wales, one of the pillars of New South Wales Health, that provides strategic direction around cancer control in New South Wales. And we know that physical activity is a really important component of that. This collaboration has resulted in the development of some fantastic and engaging resources to promote physical activity, including videos highlighting the theme of celebrating culture through movement, posters, fact sheets, social media tiles in English and 19 languages, and short testimonials. And all of these resources are available for our health workers, our community organisations, community members, and the media on the Multicultural Health Week webpage on the New South Wales Health Multicultural Health Service website. So again, a warm welcome to Multicultural Health Week. And I encourage you all to celebrate culture through movement, whatever that might look like for you. Thank you.
Thank you again, Toby, as he shimmies down. Come on. And Toby, can I say, as a bona fide state champion, I'm going to say welcome to the club, because you are a state champion of health and well-being. Okay, so you use that mantle to your advantage, and yeah, don't put yourself down. Where are these other people from your physio days? No one else is here championing state health, so good on you. Well done. It's my great pleasure now to introduce our next speaker. She leads the New South Wales Multicultural Health Communication Service, the MHCS team. She's been coordinating multicultural health. Well, that team, of course, has been coordinating Multicultural Health Week, as Toby pointed out, since 2009. Managing this important initiative in partnership with multicultural health services right across local health districts, with funding from the New South Wales Ministry of Health. So we're about to welcome to the stage the person who's been steering this juggernaut, getting this show on the road. She's held in such high esteem by all of us in the room and beyond. The Director of New South Wales Multicultural Health Communication Service. Lisa is also, can I tell you, the Director of Health Equity Prevention and Promotion Service in South Eastern Sydney Local Health District. Please welcome Lisa.
Thank you very much, Janice, and thank you to Minister Park, Susan Pearce, Professor Tracy O'Brien for being with us here today to celebrate Multicultural Health Week. I would also like to start by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the lands that we're meeting on, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, and pay my respects to elders past, present, emerging, and Aboriginal colleagues that are present today. I would also like to pay my respects to people of migrant and refugee backgrounds who've come from all around the world to make Australia their home and to contribute to our rich multicultural society. I think Auntie Jones said everything in her welcome to country. And the only thing I would like to add is love, respect, and health, because we all know in this room how very important that is. Thank you to our Chief Executive, Toby Wilson, for highlighting this year's theme. Toby, as he said, is a physiotherapist. I'm a washed up psychologist. So I'm the yin to his yang on this occasion. And for me, promoting physical activity is really important in terms of our mental health and our well-being, as well as our physical health. And that's a really important message that we want to deliver today. Multicultural Health Week is always a very highly collaborative event. Earlier this year, we held a scoping workshop with Multicultural Health Services and community members to determine what we really needed to do to promote to people, to engage them in more physical activity. So as Toby mentioned, we've worked closely with the Cancer Institute and the Ministry of Health's Centre for Population Health, the Health and Social Policy Branch, and the Strategic Communications and Engagement Unit to bring all of these resources to you today. So through co-design and stakeholder consultations, we aim to promote messages that are easily understood, positive and culturally inclusive, and address those physical, mental, social, and cultural benefits of being active. We also aim to ensure that the actions we're encouraging are easily obtainable. Not all of us can be state champions in anything, but it's really important that people don't see cost as a barrier, that we promote low cost, easy to initiate activities, and that every move does count. We want to focus on actions that focus on families and social networks, encouraging each other to get moving. So we wanted to create resources that bring people from all communities together in a joyful, upbeat manner to engage in physical activity and celebrate culture through movement. As Toby mentioned, we have a suite of resources in multiple languages to encourage people to start moving, be connected with their culture and their family. So the first resource is a fact sheet, Celebrate Culture Through Movement. Every move counts. And again, as Toby mentioned, that's in 19 languages, including and as well as English. And we have a number of posters and social media tiles that people can use a QR code to quickly connect them with information in their language. Later on today, we'll see a 1-minute video that showcases physical activity in its many forms across a range of communities. And that's been produced in collaboration with SBS and the Centre for Population Health. And we hope that that really captures for you and for our communities that sense of well-being that can come from moving. So a lot of short versions of those videos will be available for digital and social media promotion. And Toby's mentioned that they're available for free on a range of platforms, including Multicultural Health Communication Service, the Ministry Cancer Institute. And we'll be sharing those through local health districts, with multicultural media, and with community organisations. We have some testimonial videos, which you'll see later today, where community members tell us how they like to celebrate their culture and the benefits they have experienced in relation to physical activity. So another important initiative for this year's Multicultural Health Week is our Community Grants program. So these are very small grants. They're $2,000 that we offer to local health districts and community organisations to support community engagement activities with culturally and linguistically diverse communities. You can see the list of some of the places there that we've sponsored through these grants. And the purpose of these grants is to use existing social networks to increase community confidence in participating in physical activity. And evidence indicates that trusted voices in the community are the most powerful in communicating health messages. And so this relatively small investment brings us the opportunity to identify community champions, amplify our messages, and encourage community organisations to integrate physical activity into the programs that they run. We're also aware of the need to reach people by working with our partner organisations. And later this week, we have a number of events with the Ministry of Health, which we're looking forward to. On a personal note, when reflecting on this year's theme, I've been really reminded that physical activity is very much about momentum. And this is often something that we lose when we are ill or when we're injured or as we age. And yet what we know is that it's at these times in which physical activity can be of most benefit to us. So it's an important reminder for all of us to encourage and support those around us to re-establish their momentum for physical activity in whatever form they most enjoy. I'm a very clumsy person, so that's why I didn't shimmy up the stairs. So the thing that I love most is walking, and I love walking my dogs in the park every morning. And I know that a 5:30 start isn't for everybody in terms of physical activity, but that's the time of day that I like to do it, and that's the activity that I enjoy. And I think it's about everybody finding those things for themselves and really encouraging themselves and everyone around them to join in. So in closing, I'd like to thank the members of the Multicultural Health Steering Week Committee, and I think we have their names up there, that have led the development of the resources and have all contributed to the success of this year's celebrations and activities. I particularly wanted to highlight the exceptional contributions of our consumer representatives, Tit, Lewis and Serena, who've been really strong advocates for ensuring our resources and activities meet the needs of communities. Also a special thanks to our partners, the Centre for Population Health, Health and Social Policy Branch, Strategic Communications and Engagement, and the Cancer Institute New South Wales. A special mention to Bronwyn Penny, Peter Lucas and Shatal Chalam, who have provided exceptional input into this year's Multicultural Health Week. Also a big thank you to the district and statewide multicultural health services and healthcare interpreter services who have contributed to and shared in the development of these resources. A thank you to my amazing Multicultural Health Communication Service team. It's very hard to choose one of them to highlight today because it's such a big team effort, and I really appreciate everything that they do. So lastly, thank you to all of you for joining us today to celebrate and promote our theme, Celebrate Culture Through Movement, Every Movement Counts. Thank you.
Thanks again, Lisa, for that generous introduction and talk, really highlighting what the theme of today's event is about. So thank you so much. And again, thank you to the team for their incredible work And congratulations to all the small grants recipients, and best of luck with all of your community activities. Keep it up. Well, let's now watch a testimonial video that really speaks to today's theme, showcasing the importance of bringing family together and keeping physically active through sport.
Playing cricket is really important to me and my family. It's one way to keep our family close, playing together with the family, keeping the kids active, keeping the kids close with their cousins and everyone at the same time. It's one way of keeping them fit as well instead of staying inside the house. It's a good way of getting together and having a bit of fun. And at the same time, you get to do a bit of exercise as well. Now that everyone's busy with work, life, you don't get much time to do exercise at all. So any form of exercise is good. Catching up with family and playing cricket is one way of doing that.
My name is Danush and my favorite sport is soccer and cricket. Because cricket is very fun and it's very physical activity, and I can spend time with friends and family.
Growing up back in Sri Lanka, we played cricket since when I was about 8 years old. Cricket's always been part of our life. It's just it's something that we've grown up with, and we want to pass on that tradition to our kids as well.
I like playing sport because it makes me be stronger, and I'll be healthier, and it will make me be more active, and I can meet family and friends.
I understand the Australian cricket team's doing a bit better these days too. So, that's good too, to help spur us on. But truly wonderful to see just how valuable it is to celebrate culture through physical activity, and especially when you do it with family. I'd like to now introduce our next speaker. Professor Tracy O'Brien leads the team that works tirelessly to promote cancer prevention right across the state. Of course, the Cancer Institute New South Wales, MHCS and Cancer Institute have partnered again this year for Multicultural Health Week. And this time it's to share how physical activity can lead to reducing cancer risk for people from multicultural backgrounds. Professor Tracy O'Brien, Chief Cancer Officer, New South Wales, New South Wales, and Chief Executive Officer, Cancer Institute, New South Wales. He'll be sharing with us today the cancer prevention programs that promote physical activity in community languages. So without further ado, please welcome Tracy.
Thank you. I feel like I need to do a bit of a warm-up exercise here as an ex-state basketball champion. For the record, my dance moves don't come out till after dark. Good morning, everyone, and a big welcome from me today. This is really one of my favourite events, the annual celebration of the beautiful diversity of New South Wales, very rich and varied cultural communities. As Janice said in that kind introduction, my name is Professor Tracy O'Brien, and it's a great privilege to serve as the New South Wales Chief Cancer Officer and the CEO of the Cancer Institute. I too would like to thank Auntie Ding for her gracious and generous welcome, and I'd also acknowledge the traditional custodians on the land on which we're gathered today, the Gadigal people of the Great Eora Nation, and I pay my respects to elders past and present. I also acknowledge that sovereignty of these lands was never ceded, and that this land always was and always will be Aboriginal land. A warm welcome to any First Nations people in the room and to the many multicultural community leaders here today. And I'd like to acknowledge Minister Park, the Secretary of Health, Susan Pearce, Toby Wilson and Lisa Woodland, colleagues, community members and friends. I'd also like to acknowledge and thank the Multicultural Health Communication Service for organising this wonderful event now over many years, and the strong and collaborative partnership that they have with our team at the Cancer Institute of New South Wales. So allow me to begin by sharing a perspective forged through decades of experience as a children's cancer specialist. I have always been a strong advocate believing in the anti-cancer benefits of movement and physical activity to my patients and their family. And I'm absolutely resolute in the belief that that health message is more crucial today than ever before. In this room, we represent a tapestry of diversity, transcending race, ethnicity, culture, and language. Yet each of us, without exception, knows someone we love who's been struck down by cancer. And it's in a stark reality that every second person in this room will be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime. Let me underscore one more sobering fact. Physical inactivity ranks among the top 4 contributors to Australia's cancer burden. The perils of a sedentary lifestyle cannot be overstated. It can lead to obesity, a condition linked to an elevated risk of over 15 types of cancer, including cancer of the mouth, throat, esophagus, breast, and liver cancers. With more than half of New South Wales adults either overweight or obese, the importance of movement has never been clearer. And as the New South Wales Chief Cancer Officer, I'm here to stress that our quest to enhance cancer treatments should not exclusively rely on tests, on drug therapies, and surgical procedures. It's equally imperative that we prioritise cancer prevention, which often commences with the most straightforward of steps. Engaging in physical activity, in movement, is one of the 6 key ways you can reduce your risk of cancer. Scientific evidence is unequivocal. It demonstrates that the health consequences of a sedentary lifestyle can be profound and in many cases devastating. Incorporating more activity into your life, such as sitting less and moving more, significantly reduces your risk of developing cancers like bowel, breast, prostate, and endometrial cancer. There's even evidence that exercise can aid in preventing some cancers like breast cancer from relapsing. For those who are diagnosed with cancer and are physically able, maintaining an active lifestyle can help enhance the ability to cope with treatment and improve overall well-being. Yet, let's be honest, many of us, myself included, tend to prioritise our health only when adversity strikes or when someone close to us faces a health challenge. It's human nature. Our hectic lives are filled with endless tasks, and the allure of convenience brought by modern technologies like phones and computers and deliveries to the door means that self-care and physical activity often finds its way towards the bottom of an ever-expanding to-do list. What our beautiful and diverse nature has taught us, however, is that movement doesn't have to be tedious or burdensome. It can be joyful. It can foster connections among families, friends, culture, and nurture both our physical and our mental well-being. In Australia, physical activity has been an integral part of culture of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities for hundreds of thousands of years, expressed through ceremonial dance and traditional games. Similarly, cultural dances and traditional sports have served as a powerful bridge between migrant communities and their homelands, promoting social bonds. Activities like the martial arts of capoeira and kung fu, or the Irish or Croatian folk dances, aren't just physical pursuits, they're also a robust social connection for mental well-being. To reduce your risk of cancer and lead a healthier life, the Cancer Institute of New South Wales recommends at least an hour of moderate activity or 30 minutes of vigorous activity each day. If this isn't already a part of your routine, start small, gradually build up. Enlist the support of friends, loved ones on this journey. Head out for a walk. What our multicultural communities continue to show us all, I think, is that physical activity doesn't need to be structured, doesn't need to be monotonous or involve a gym membership. If you're seeking ideas or support, visit cancer.nsw.gov.au or jump online to the New South Wales Multicultural Health Week website for resources available in multiple languages. Regardless of your age, remember that every move counts, and how you move is entirely up to you. Thank you, and may you all enjoy the remainder of this morning.
Thanks again so much, Tracy, to you and your team at Cancer Institute New South Wales for all your great support. Lovely to have you on board once again this year for Multicultural Health Week, and more power to you in the work that you do in preventing cancer across this beautiful state of ours. Thank you so much, because of course, as Tracy said, we all know, don't we, someone or ourselves who have been affected by cancer. So incredible work that you do. So thank you again, Professor Tracy O'Brien. Now, I'm really excited to introduce this next video. It showcases a group of women that has found the joy of riding together. So we're about to meet the Social Women's Intercultural Friendship Tricycling, that's hard to say, Tricycling Club, known as SWIFT. I'm going to put out a disclaimer right now. I take no responsibility for any heart explosions. I have seen this video. I've met some of the women involved. They're magnificent. So strap yourselves in and meet these incredible women.
Tricycling is a great activity. It's you feel safe, you feel stable. It allows you to ride along the bike tracks and not worry about, wobbling and, sort of falling off the bike and so on.
I think it's important that they get together as a community and socially to support each other, and then be able to go on rides like that and work on those skills and have a good time, being out in the community riding.
We're a intercultural friendship cycling club. We want to incorporate people from a broad range of backgrounds, from a broad range of communities, and we want to encourage them to move and be active. It's great for their health, it's great for their physical health, for their emotional and social well-being. We're a group of women. We get together. Not only do we enjoy a ride and we keep physically active, but we encourage one another. We talk about our lives, and we celebrate our good times, and we support one another, and that's what it's all about.
So I hope that serves as a little boost to try out a tricycle. I mean, who knew? But otherwise, maybe 2 wheels is more your flavor. So get into it. Whatever you do, try and move your body, get involved, and get some mates out and get into it. It's now my great pleasure to introduce our next speaker. Minister for Health, Ryan Park, has labelled this next person as the best secretary of New South Wales Health. I was there when he said it. You got witnesses. It was amazing. I definitely agree. I know she's very much loved by health workers right across the state. So please put your hands together and welcome Ms. Susan Pearce, Secretary for New South Wales Health.
Oh, thank you very much for that kind introduction, and to the Minister for his kind words. I'll take it while I can get it. As one of my colleagues was famous for saying, you're only as good as your last report. It's a lesson for life. Could I start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land that we're meeting on here this morning, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and a special thanks to Arnie Ding. And it's a shame she's had to go, but what a great welcome to country that was, and I echo Professor O'Brien's comments, it was and always will be Aboriginal land. I'd also like to acknowledge the cultural leaders that are here in the room today, and the many different cultures that make up the great state of New South Wales. And what a great topic for Multicultural Health Week this year. Celebrate culture through movement. And it was great that the cyclists were on just before I got up, because I was just showing Minister Park when we were sharing our stories at the start there about my cycling adventures. And I did 27 kilometres on the bike yesterday, and yes, I did. And it's not an e-bike either, I'd like you to know. There are no motors there. And my cycling adventures started when my husband, it was my birthday yesterday as well, and I turned 54 yesterday. So that's a lesson for everyone. It's never too late either. And my husband, who's 55, started running a few years ago. He was having what can only be described as a midlife crisis, which I was only too happy to point out to him. But he ran a full 42 kilometres in the Canberra Marathon. And so and he looked like he was about to have a cardiac arrest at the end of it. But my cycling started because I got sick of him running around for hours doing his training. And so I started cycling and chasing him around on my bike. And so it has stuck with me. And I must say, it's a great part of my week when I get out and shake off what's happened over the week and prepare myself for another one. And it is a really great thing to do. The other thing that I'm hearing here this morning, which is fantastic, and certainly a lesson we've learnt during, if not always in health, but certainly over the last few years as we've worked through the pandemic, is the partnerships that exist across not just New South Wales Health, but beyond. And I'd like to acknowledge the work of Lisa and Jess and all of the work that you do with multicultural groups across New South Wales. And I was saying to the Minister this morning, we have a great partnership with Multicultural New South Wales, with many colleagues and friends from different cultural backgrounds. And having worked through the pandemic in the way that we did, we would never have had the same result without the magnificent efforts of cultural leaders right across New South Wales who are able to communicate with their communities in a way that we couldn't. And I acknowledge and thank them for that. Now, I've got some more sobering statistics for you, but I'll hopefully finish on a positive note. 1 in 3 adults aged 16 years and over in New South Wales are insufficiently physically active, and only 17.8% of children and young people between 5 and 15 years of age achieve adequate levels of physical activity. The behaviour of nearly 57% of children is considered to be sedentary. 33.8% of adults aged 16 years and over are overweight, and 24% obese. And between 2013 and 2022, the rate of overweight and obesity in the population has increased from 51 to 58% in adults in New South Wales, really quite significant. The percentage of children living with overweight and obesity is relatively stable in New South Wales over the last 10 years, but also 23% of children aged between 5 and 16 being overweight or obese. They're big numbers, aren't they? If today's trends in disease and demand continue, activity across the New South Wales health system will nearly double, a bit scary, by 2031. Now, what we've just heard from Professor O'Brien, we'll hear more about, is some of this is preventable. In fact, a lot of it is preventable. 40% of the disease burden is due to modifiable risk factors, and being healthy and keeping active is clearly part of that. And New South Wales Health is very committed. We obviously provide excellent services in our hospitals and all of our community health settings, but we do a lot of work in prevention as well. And I think over the years, what we're learning is we need more focus on that and perhaps less focus on the other end of our health system, because it always gets the most attention. But we know that prevention is the key to helping on all levels. And the New South Wales government is clearly committed to preventative health and supporting people to keep healthy and well. Our New South Wales healthy eating and active living support programs help people make positive changes in their lives. And the Get Healthy service provides free coaching support to help people reach their health goals and includes bilingual coaches across languages such as Cantonese, Arabic, and soon Mandarin and Vietnamese. Our programs in schools and early childhood centres support children and families to live their healthiest lives. And if Dr. Chant was here this morning, she'd be very pleased to hear us talking about this because in her other life, outside of leading through a pandemic, she is deeply committed to prevention and healthy living. And again, we've just heard, and this is the positive news. So there's something we can do about all of this. Physical inactivity contributes nearly the same as obesity and smoking to the global burden of disease, yet compared to other risk factors, the role of physical inactivity is sometimes under-recognised. So there's no single lesson for everyone here. You know, if you'd have asked me 10 years ago, would I be, and I'm a demon on the bike too, by the way. I have accidentally knocked over one small child, but and apologies to the parents of that child if they're listening today. I did stop. It wasn't a hit and run. I just want you to know. And his parents weren't very happy with me. But if 10 years ago somebody had said to me that I would have been riding around on a bike on the weekends, I would have said no way. And so it's been a great surprise and delight to me that it has become such a great part of my life. So what we need to make sure, though, and in keeping with the theme of today, is that we are able to communicate this in a way that is accessible, that people from different cultural backgrounds can hear and interpret in their own ways. And we've just heard, and cricket is a great example of a sport that reaches across so many different cultural groups, and there, of course, are many more. And the dancing. I was sort of trying to work out how I could do it. Somebody needed to do it, didn't they? Yeah, it wasn't very good, but I gave it a crack. So look, you know, whatever works for you, I say do it. Can I say enjoying time together as a community, enjoying a bit of physical activity while you're at it is probably one of the most... It's a big lesson. I don't want to keep talking about the pandemic, but even just this morning before we came here, we're just talking about some of the aspects of the pandemic, you know, the lockdowns, all of the issues that happened to us during that period as a society. And how good is it now to be able to come back together with the people that we love and enjoy time together? And so why not incorporate into that a little bit more physical activity? Janice, I'll hand back over to you. Thanks very much, everyone.
Thank you so much again to our birthday girl, Susan. Happy birthday. And my goodness, 27 Ks on the bike. I've accidentally rode my bike 20 Ks once. I wasn't planning to, but it was hard work. So I'm so impressed. Well done, and keep it up. You're a great role model for us all. And yeah, good luck chasing your husband. I hope it's been good. I hope he's okay, and I hope that young child is okay too. Yeah, we really, really appreciate your amazing work, your dedication to keeping the people of New South Wales safe and healthy, and also to improving our health and well-being and leading from the front. I love it. Thank you. It's now time to showcase another video produced for this year's Multicultural Health Week. This video was made by New South Wales Multicultural Health Communication Service in partnership with the Ministry of Health's Centre for Population Health Branch, also the mighty SBS, to support the Strategic Communications and Engagement team. The video highlights the many ways to celebrate culture through movement and how every move counts. So let's check it out. So as you saw there, it's never too late to start moving. Lots of particularly glamorous looking people, I've got to say, in that video as well. You don't have to get quite so dressed up and look as magnificent as some of the people in the video there, but so wonderful to see. A really, really good dose of inspiration there. We can see how many people in the community participated in the making of that video. So big thanks to everyone who allowed us to see, take a sneak peek at their activities to showcase the value of culture and movement. We want to thank Swift, the Rajan family, the Tu family, Pink Sari Incorporated, Chinese Australian Services Society, Parramatta Bike Ride Hub, Bikeworks, Advantageous, the New South Wales One Reserve Road Soccer Team, and so many more. So this video and the testimonial videos will all be available on the MHCS website. You can download them for your use alongside more videos and resources to share, promote, and we're on that theme of getting active and moving. So it's all there for you to use and enjoy. It's now my great pleasure to introduce the Minister for Health, Minister for Regional Health, and Minister for the Illawarra and the South Coast. And can I say that that video featuring the tricycle ladies is from the mighty Illawarra region. So the Minister is nodding gleefully and happy to see the flag of the mighty South Coast represented. Please welcome the Honourable Ryan Park.
Thank you, Janice. And can I just, before I do some acknowledgements, acknowledge your work, but also the work of SBS. We're very lucky in this country to have a communication service that educates, informs, and still tells the stories from people from very different lands and very different cultures. And I want to acknowledge the team through Janice at SBS for doing that. Can I also acknowledge by the traditional owners and the lands in which we gather and pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. I think we have a big task ahead to close the gap when it comes to the health outcomes of our Indigenous brothers and sisters. And I know through Susan's leadership and our determination, we are going to make significant improvements in that area. To the many community cultural leaders who was with us here today, to Lisa and her team, to Susan. Susan is the very best secretary in the New South Wales government. I can assure you of that. To Toby and Tracy, thank you so much for being here. Well, you'll be pleased to know that I'm a washed up health and physical education teacher. So this is a different classroom to HE on a Friday afternoon, I can assure you. But can I say, just over 20 years ago now, probably about 25 years ago, I did an honours thesis in the engagement of young women in health and physical activity. And one of the issues that it examined was culture and the way in which culture can act as a barrier and the challenge to the way in which young women at that time engaged in physical activity. I remember doing a literature review, which you do with one of these theses, and part of the literature review was to analyse newspapers and to see young women and the way in which they were portrayed and publicised through the media. And back then, 25 years ago, compared to now, thank heavens, we have a very, very different story. And our mighty Matildas, but the World Cup in general, demonstrated both a real cultural benefit, but also a benefit to the way in which we highlighted women participating in fact physical activity and the excellence of women in sport. And I think that is something that over the course of this week, I hope we highlight through Multicultural Health Week and through your own community groups. I want to really echo something that the Secretary says about the Multicultural Health Communication Service through COVID. As the Shadow Minister and someone who was speaking with the Minister regularly during that period, and also had a number of chats with Dr. Chant, this was so critical to the wellbeing, health and safety of many community members across New South Wales. Those from different cultural backgrounds had a very different experience of COVID for a range of different reasons. But your team, the multicultural team, health team, did an enormous amount of work, and our state
is forever in debt, because you saved lives, you help educate and inform people, you broke down barriers, you engaged with community groups. So on behalf of a very, very grateful community, but also the government more broadly, can I thank you for your ongoing work in that space. It was simply mind-blowing, and you had a really big impact on the lives of so many people. Physical activity is so critical, and as someone who has been the Shadow Health Minister, now the Health Minister, for a few months, I've had the opportunity to engage with psychologists and psychiatrists, and what I'm always interested in, and I've had this conversation played back to me many times, and I don't just engage with psychologists and psychiatrists because I'm a politician, but I mean, my mum will probably think I should, but many of them have said to me that before we prescribe or go down a synthetic path, we look at what people's physical activity pattern is and what their eating behavior is and their eating patterns, and we try and start getting things right there. And physical activity, as Susan outlined, has enormous benefits for our physical health, but it has a big benefit as well for our mental and social well-being. And I think that's an important part that this week will also emphasize, but it will also bring about what's really important is connection and cultural connection. The ability for physical activity like food and celebrations to bring people together is enormous. Every morning for my own sins at 5:05, I'm not a very routine person much. At 5:05, I do 45 minutes of physical activity at a gym every single day. And I'll tell you, for me, that is probably like Susan. The benefit is it sets up what is always a busy day as the Minister for Health. And it has enormous benefits to me, I think, physically, but also psychologically, because it can essentially, for that period of time, you're not thinking about emergency departments that are busy, ambulances that are not getting into emergency departments, people waiting on elective surgery, or people who may be sick in our hospitals. It's an opportunity to think about yourselves. And I would encourage people, both in this room, but engagement with your own communities, to emphasise that, because self-care is an important part of care. Tracy and I were with Susan just before this event talking about the importance of mammograms and breast screen. Again, about self-care. We can't care for other people unless we're looking after ourselves. And I think that is really important. This week is critical. I want to really give everybody involved in this fantastic event and over the course of this week a very big round of applause. Thank you on behalf of a very, very grateful community. I hope you get out there, sell exactly what we're doing in New South Wales Health, encourage other people to be a part of it, but always remember that every movement truly counts, and that you don't have to be running marathons, you don't have to be as fit as the Secretary, cycling 27 kilometres. You don't have to be doing all of that, but what we do encourage people to do is move, and move frequently, and move and do things that they enjoy, because the sustainability of that is far greater. It gives me great pleasure to launch this fantastic week. I look forward to hearing about, learning about, and seeing firsthand the benefits that you're bringing to cultural groups right across the community. And I can thank everyone involved in this very special event. I'm very proud to be your Health Minister. I'm very proud of the work that we do in New South Wales Health and the fantastic team that we have. And thank you all for getting behind it, supporting it, and encouraging many people right across the community to get involved in it as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Park, for that generous and important message launching Multicultural Health Week 2023. And honestly, if someone as busy as the Minister for Health can get up at 5:05, my goodness, every morning to move his body, as he says, there's benefits, health benefits, mental health benefits, as well as the physical stuff. So, and I can absolutely attest to that. And we're getting into the warmer months. If you're near a body of water, throw yourself in there. You know that saying, you never regret a swim. It's always good. So my advice is, if you're not someone who wants to, compete like I've decided to do, or cycle for 27 Ks, just go for a walk. That's literally the first step that you should be doing, is going out, getting some fresh air, 5-10 minutes, maybe the first day you might want to do, but it'd be even better if you had a friend or a group and you can chat. So it doesn't have to be at first this physically exhausting thing. But I can also say that when you do sweat it out and you really challenge yourself, you do go on a bit of a high and you're buzzing and you're full of energy. So that's my little TED talk for you, that little mini bite-sized one, but I couldn't help but think about that, because when you're in that exercise flow, as the minister said, you don't have time for the other distractions. And I feel like you do get to know yourself a little bit better and it prepares you for challenges ahead. So think about how you can take that first step if you're not already a 505 kind of guy. I would like to thank all the speakers who've joined us on the stage today, but I'd like to invite them all back actually for a photo with the minister before we get on with the program. So could I ask Minister Park, Susan, Toby, Lisa, Tracy, just to the front of the stage real quick for a snap, please. Me? Oh, on stage, yes.
It is. I know. I'm ready for it.
We could set up some sort of sports team, couldn't we? A sponge. Give it a crack, I reckon. Okay, now time for a bit of fun to celebrate Multicultural Health Week and highlight the theme this year. Everyone's got to get up. Come on, we're not going to let you go without a bit of moving. Get on your feet, put your dancing shoes on, because we are going to welcome back my dance teachers. Lucky are back to teach us some African dance moves.
Mami watole, wawa. Mami watole, wawa. Anyiri watole, wawa. Philip watole, wawa. Tuza watole, wawa. Everybody watole, wawa. Mami watole, wawa. Mami watole, wawa. Anyiri watole, wawa. Uganda watole, wawa. Philippi watole, wawa. Congo watole, wawa. Tuza watole, wawa. Ghana watore, wawa. Everybody watore, wawa. Australia watore, wawa. Sikola yiko, wawa ko. Sikola yiko. Everybody, wawa ko. Sikola yiko. Can I hear you? Wawa ko. Very good. Sikola yiko. Everybody, please sing out. Wawa ko. Sikola yiko. Shall we clap? Wawa ko. Yes. One more time. Wawa ko. Oh, you're a very good singer. I want to hear you. Wawa ko. Sing from the bottom of your heart. Oh, wawa ko. Now I'll start again. Why you go, Kolope, Sikolobe, mami watoli. Mama watoli. Father watoli. Sister watoli. Brother watoli. Minister watoli. Prime Minister watoli. Ladies watoli. Gentlemen watoli. Sikolayiko. Sikolayiko. Bring the harmony, ladies. One more time.
Ah, yes. If you got water, drink it, is my advice. That was amazing. Thank you so much to Lucky Lucky. Oh, great. See how much fun it is when you move your body, you got people around you, you get a good vibe, good energy. Amazing. So that was a real good taster of just how fun it is when you get moving and you have a group of people around you moving. But we're just now in the process of wrapping up this year's Multicultural Health Week launch. All the resources, of course, as I mentioned, those wonderful videos, they're available to download for free this week by visiting the Multicultural Health Communication Service website on mhcs.health.newsouthwales.gov.au. If you have your phone available, I'm sure you can scan that QR code and start downloading some of the resources. A huge thank you once again to Minister Park, Susan Pearce, Toby Wilson, Lisa Woodland, Professor Tracy O'Brien. A big thank you too to the Rajan family and Swift for sharing their stories with us on how they celebrate culture through movement. A big thank you too to all of you who were able to contribute, for your continuous support, and thanks to the media as well for their continuous support. Without you, our key health messages wouldn't get out there. They wouldn't reach the communities we need to. So we are truly grateful for your support. Thank you so much. Thanks for being part of this special event. On behalf of the organisers, I'd like to wish you all happy Multicultural Health Week for 2023. We really hope that you get some enjoyment out of the refreshments that are on offer in the foyer. For all the guest speakers, organisers, working group partners, and the people who are part of this campaign, we invite you to come to the front. We love taking photos. We'd love another happy snap with you. We'd also invite you to like the Multicultural Health Communication Service Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and WeChat pages. And once again, all the hashtags, there they are. Hashtag Multicultural Health Week, hashtag physical activity, hashtag celebrate culture through movement, hashtag every move counts. Please help to promote Multicultural Health Week messages to your networks. As I say, there they are. Take a little photo and get snapping, get posting. Once again, everyone, I'm Janice Peterson. I will see you on the athletics track. I will see you at high jump training. Let's be physically active. You're all state champs to me. Go out there and do your thing.